Hi, my name is Atif Kamal, and this is another workshop on logic and reasoning. This will be the last one that I do for logic. Alright, now the benefit to knowing how to make predictive plans is that no matter what the outcome will be, you will know what to expect. You have a pretty good idea on what to expect. Now, I'll give you an example here. This is an example from my own experience. Now here in Houston, I don't really have any friends, so I've been trying to think of what I could do to make some friends. And one of the ideas that I've been thinking about is going to meetups. And if I go to these meetups, either I will find people with common interests, or I will not find such people with common interests. Okay. So there we have a mutually exclusive disjunctive proposition. In a mutually exclusive disjunctive proposition, you have the same predicate for both disjuncts. So in this case, I would be the subject in both disjuncts, and you have the same predicate in both disjuncts, but the difference is that in the predicate for the second disjunct, the predicate is negated. So first disjunct, the predicate is will find people with common interests at a meetup. Second disjunct, the predicate is will not find such people. Okay, and that is a mutually exclusive disjunctive proposition. And only one of those disjuncts could be true. They can't be true at the same time. Okay, so then I follow up with a conditional proposition. This one affirms the first disjunct. If I do find people with common interests, then I will make friends. Okay. This next one contains the second disjunct. If I do not find people with common interests, then I will not make friends. So we know either way, whether if I go to a meetup, either I will find people with common interests or I won't. And since we know that's true, we know that I'll either find friends there or I will not find friends. Okay. Now here's an example for you to try. Now the option here is hanging out with new acquaintances at Torchy's Tacos. Now I need to give you some context for this example. This is also an example based off of my own experience. Today I went to a tournament for a card game called Android Netrunner. After I'd played some people there, I exchanged numbers with a couple of the players there, and after the tournament was over, one of them offered me to join them to go to this restaurant called Torchy's Tacos. Okay, so that is the context. Now, based on this, you want to formulate a mutually exclusive disjunctive proposition. And then you want to formulate two conditional propositions. The first one will affirm the disjunct, the first disjunct, and the second conditional proposition will contain the second disjunct. Okay. Now, in terms of the consequent for each conditional proposition, you want to think of what you have to gain with hanging out with these new acquaintances at Torchy's Tacos for the first conditional proposition. For the second conditional proposition, you want to think about what you have to gain from not hanging out with these new acquaintances at Torchy's Tacos. Okay? Now, because my context will be different from your context, you want to think about what you want to pretend first that you are in a new place, that you have no friends. What would you have to gain by hang out with these people at Torchy's Tacos? And now thinking about what you do every day for the second conditional proposition, think what you would do if you would not hang out with these people at Torchy's Tacos. Okay? So I want you to use your context, not mine. Alright? So if you need more time, you can pause the video. Otherwise, I will move on to my answers, which will obviously be different from what your answers are. Okay, so first you have the mutually exclusive disjunctive proposition. Either I will hang out with my new acquaintances at Torchy's Tacos or I will not. It's not possible for me to both hang out with them and not hang out with them at the same time. So one of those disjuncts has to be true. in the second disjunct, I will affirm the first disjunct. If I hang out with my new acquaintance at Turkey Tacos, then I will build a stronger friendship with them. That is what I have to gain by hanging out with these new acquaintances at Turkey Tacos. Now, this will contain the second disjunct, I will not, which is equivalent to, like, I will not hang out with my new acquaintances at Turkey Tacos. If I do not hang out with my new acquaintances at Turkey Tacos, then I will have more time to work on my projects. Okay? So no matter which choice I pick, we know what will happen. Either I will build a stronger friendship with these acquaintances, or I will have more time to work on my projects. Now also, what you need to notice about this is, now I know this is a bit different from my original example, which either negated the possible consequence or affirmed it. Here, the consequences are differently, significantly differently worded from each other. And also, something to keep in mind here is that if the consequence is that I will build a stronger friendship with these acquaintances, then there's another implied assumption there. The implied assumption is that the other consequence for the second conditional proposition will not occur, that I will have more time to work on my projects, which means I will not have more time to work on my projects. And also, let's say that I do not hang out with my new acquaintance at Turkey Tacos, then that means the consequence from the second conditional proposition will not be true. That is an implied assumption there. If we know that I will have more time to work on my projects, then the implied assumption is that I will not build a stronger friendship with these new acquaintances. Okay? So I just want to make you aware of how, in using a predictive plan such as formulated here, you can identify assumptions because of the exclusivity of the consequences between the first conditional proposition and the second conditional proposition. Okay? Now, if you'd like more practice, you can basically make a checklist of the things that you normally do, and then based on the items that are on your checklist, you'll make a mutually exclusive or disjunctive proposition for each of those items, and you want to think about what you have to gain from doing one of those things that you normally do, and what you have to gain from not doing one of those things. And based on that, you're going to formulate two conditional propositions exactly as I've done over here, where you affirm the predicate in one conditional proposition for the antecedent and deny it in the antecedent of the second conditional proposition. And then, yeah, you have to think about in both cases what you have to gain. Okay? Alright, so this is the last video on my logic workshops. The reason why I focus on logic, I didn't say reasoning, is because what I think it takes to be reasonable is to base one's judgments on the evidence that they have available. But I said nothing about evidence from the first video that I've shown you to this one. So that's why I don't include these workshops under reasoning. So then, to answer the question, will I produce more videos? The answer is yes. But I have to work on my book on what it means to be reasonable before I can offer you those workshops. I'm not sure when I'm going to offer these workshops, but I definitely plan to as soon as I've done the research. And also, going back to logic, another way how logic is different from just evidence is that logic uses judgments that you have available to express an additional judgment which you didn't originally have. Okay? So logic lays down rules to execute such a process. Also, something else that I wanted to mention is that I will be publishing one of my books soon. This book will be on clarity, and I'll be publishing it as an ebook on Kindle for Amazon. I'm aiming for a few weeks, and I'm probably going to set the price at $1.99. It'll consist of about 130 pages. It'll consist largely of exercises. Honestly, it's about 90 pages of the 130 something, because I could lecture you a lot, but I think it would also help you to actually engage in the concepts that are in there, as well as looking at the explanations to modify your thoughts and your rationale for the exercises that I provide. In any case, though, yeah, I'll be putting that on Amazon. If you are interested, please email me at kautif@gmail.com. If you have no interest, then don't worry about it. Just don't email me. Okay, I will have more videos to show you in the future, but just when I will is not sure yet. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye. Just when I will is not sure yet. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.